The March game update 5.8 is going to be called Command Authority, and it should be coming out on March 13. If you enjoy operations, there's going to be the final boss of the newest operation, Gods from the Machine, is going to be coming out. His name will be Izax, the Destroyer, and he'll be the 5th and final boss. So they're doing something a little interesting with this boss. He's going to be released in story mode and veteran mode, so the easiest mode and the middle mode, I guess you could say. But in the middle mode version of Izax, he's actually going to be tuned to master mode difficulty. So if you're a raider, be very aware that he's going to be especially hard in veteran mode. Now, the sad news, for those of you who are waiting for it, there is not going to be a master mode version of this operation. Originally, they were planning to release a master mode, a nightmare mode, but they decided not to. So this is very disappointing because players were originally told there would be a master mode for all bosses in the operation. Personally, I think this means they're focusing their resources on more commonly played group content like flashpoints and easier operation modes. I don't think many players have even completed the veteran modes of the Gods from the Machine operation, and there doesn't seem to be as much love for it as some of the older operations like Terror from Beyond. Now, they are doing something kind of cool for when Izax comes out. They're going to run a special Izax event, and everyone who does it will have the opportunity to receive a new achievement, a special and unique title, and a new and very enticing legacy-based reward. We're not sure exactly what that will be, but it sounds interesting. So the event will be time-locked between 5.8 and 5.9, that's March 13 to April something, and you must defeat Izax on veteran mode during that time to earn the reward. Story mode doesn't count. It'll grant you a special time-locked achievement, an exclusive title, and a special reward. After 5.9, you can't earn it anymore. There will actually be a very rare drop of Izax after that time will be bind on pickup, but it won't be legacy-wide. So I'm very interested to see if people who enjoy operations and raiding decide to come back for this event. I'm actually personally considering it myself. I haven't done a lot of operations due to time constraints, but I'd love to come check out that special time-locked reward. Now, if you enjoy doing Conquest either by yourself or with a guild, the developers are well aware of some of the issues of rewards that have been happening lately. Many players were not getting their rewards for multiple weeks in a row. So what's happening is substantial improvements to the Conquest system, including a new interface, new daily objectives, new missions, and more. Most importantly, they've rewritten the back-end system to ensure you benefit from your weekly efforts. Hopefully they're going to be releasing an upcoming blog or forum post to give us more details about the changes to the Conquest system. Now, one thing that is coming up that is very cool related to Conquest is they're going to add a new Conquest vendor for those who complete their personal conquest each week. It'll initially have decorations and, very important, a new companion boost called the Commander's Compendium, which will increase your active companion to influence level 50. And that is very cool because companion influence in this game is not very well tuned to be, well, fun or easy. So if you're not familiar with it, your companion's influence is what changes their strength in battle. So if they have a very high influence, the highest is 50, they're going to be an absolute beast in combat and they'll probably be even stronger than you are. And if they're level 10 or 20, that's about a normal companion strength. So this item that automatically raises their influence level to 50 is going to be expensive, requires some crafting, and requires you to complete your personal conquest objectives before you can purchase it. Now, speaking of sharing some love to companions, there is going to be some returning companions and a new romance, which is very interesting for those of you who have played Knights of the Fallen Empire. If you have not played it, minor spoilers, something happens in Knights of the Fallen Empire, the 3rd expansion, that separates you from your companions. If you ever hear anyone complaining about missing companions, this is why. The developers are slowly bringing those companions back through the story. Now, what's very interesting is that one of these companions, not a returning one, but a new one, is going to become romanceable. So everyone's favorite former villain has had a change of heart and may be more available than he was previously. An Arcan romance quest will appear as an alliance alert. You must have completed Knights of the Eternal Throne and have him as a companion to get the alert. So to do the romance with Arcan, if you're interested in that, you have to have completed him all the way along. As for returning companions, the Imperial Agent, I'm sure, will be excited to have Vector rejoin their team. Vector is the Bugman, easily the best member of the Killik hive mind. He's the guy with black eyes, if you don't remember. So Sith Inquisitors will be happy to have Ashara Zavros rejoin their team. That's your young Togruta apprentice. And just a heads up, these two returning companions are locked to the Imperial Agent and the Sith Inquisitor respectively. You won't be able to get them if you're playing a different class like the Jedi Knight or Sith Warrior. And that was update 5.8 that comes out in March. They've also told us a bit about what's coming out in April, game update 5.9, which we called the Nathema Conspiracy. And this update is going to be especially good because it will contain the conclusion to the Knights of the Eternal Throne traitor arc. So this year's story has shown the final ramifications of the path that Valkorion first chose when he devastated Nathema, so it's only natural that the developers are returning there to bring the Knights of the Eternal Throne arc to its conclusion in the form of a flashpoint called the Nathema Conspiracy. On top of that new flashpoint, there's going to be new augments. In the new flashpoint, you'll be able to get legacy-based bind-on pickup crafting schematics, which will drop randomly off of mobs and bosses. If you're lucky, you may also find bind-on equip versions of the same schematic. Since the stats of the game aren't being changed, these augments are simply going to make you stronger. They are not necessary, they are simply for those who enjoy having the best of the best gear. In 5.9 in April, there will also be 2 returning companions. There will be Felix Ereso. The Jedi Consular's loyal soldier has had a rough time these last years. Can the Consular help him? Felix will only be returning to Consulars. There will also be 2 more returning companions, Mako and Akavi. Bounty hunters and smugglers are reunited with this duo who've been working together during the player's absence. Mako and Akavi will both be earnable by the smuggler and the bounty hunter, unlike the other returning companions which are locked to a single class. I'm actually really looking forward to this Mako and Akavi story because I can only imagine they'd make a really good team together. The 5.9 update will actually also have some utility changes for various classes, but we won't get any more details for a while. For those of you who enjoy PvP, it looks like Season 9 of Ranked PvP will end sometime in the summer, but that date isn't locked down, so it might change. There's no PvP content coming out in 5.8 or 5.9, but that doesn't mean it isn't being planned or worked on, say the developers. They're also aware that Warzone matchmaking is an issue. It's on their radar and it's marked down as a quality of life change for PvP, but it's a fairly large undertaking and not currently in the plans. The interest is noted. And as for cheating in ranked PvP, they said, win trading is a constant thing we monitor and action. Backfilling has particularly popped up on our radar lately, and we are digging deep to find and action those players. And just a minor update about Weapons and Outfit Designer, which people ask about every update. They said, it's not currently slotted into our plans, but we still have a high interest in doing it, so no updates on timing just yet. We will be sure to let you know, though, should we get it into the plans. So, nothing right now. And lastly, there is no mention of an expansion, but they did address it. This is what they said about an expansion. We heard feedback from some of you indicating you missed having a more traditional expansion and you'd rather wait so it all comes at once. I like having updates released regularly versus waiting long periods of time in between patches. Although this remains our current plan, we are also laying out what we'll include in a 6.0 game update. We'll keep you informed of our summer, fall, and winter plans throughout the coming months. My guess is we will not be seeing a fully fledged expansion or 6.0 anytime soon, but we may see one by December 2018 or early 2019. Fingers crossed. And that's everything on the early 2018 roadmap. I hope you heard something you're excited about, whether it's a returning companion or the last boss in the operation. And if you didn't, well, I guess we'll wait for 6.0 and see what it brings. See you later!